I think my child has pathological demand avoidance, but as a parent, I don't know about this whole lowering demands thing because it seems like you're just letting them do whatever they want, and it doesn't build resilience or help them to develop the skills that they need to be successful. I totally get it. I felt that way too. One thing that can be helpful is to focus on the logic of your child's brain. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever had a panic attack or almost gotten into a car crash? Yeah, I've actually gotten into a small fender bender before. What did you experience in your body when you were in that fender bender? My heart started racing. My eyes went into tunnel vision. I was sweating a lot, and I actually screamed the F word a couple times. It sounds like you went into the survival part of your brain, which told your nervous system to go into fight flight. So let me ask you this. In that state, would you have been able to learn new things? No, I definitely wouldn't have been able to learn new things. And how I reacted definitely wasn't a reflection of my temperament or personality. Okay, so let's take the logic of what happened with your survival brain and nervous system and apply it to our PDA children and teens. So that same thing is happening to them, but for a different reason than a car crash. Every time their survival brain neuroceps or subconsciously perceives that there's a loss of autonomy or equality, it tells their brain they're in danger or experiencing life threat. So they go into that response of the nervous system automatically. And for kids and many teens, they're always experiencing lots of losses of autonomy and perceptions of equality. So they're often operating from the survival brain as their baseline. Okay, so I hear you. My PDA child is operating from a baseline of threat and not in their thinking brain most of the time. So what can we do about it as parents? Okay, so this is when things start to feel paradoxical in the parenting space because every time your child, for example, resists reading or maybe says something rude to you or doesn't engage in their chore or pick up their toys, we want to correct that behavior, teach them the correct skill to support their independence and, quote, good behavior. However, if we do that with a PDA child, especially if they're close to burnout, it's pushing them further into the survival brain and undermining the trust and felt safety with the parent, making it less likely and sometimes impossible to learn or access resilience. So over the long term, we can practice things like lowering the demand of picking up the toys or lowering the demand of pushing them to read every night after school, or accommodating their need for autonomy or the perception that they're equal to or above us in order to support them to get back in their thinking brain and create a window of tolerance in their nervous system so that we can build resilience over time from a position of trust and mentorship. But it's not going to happen when a child or teen is in their survival brain and perceiving that they're in danger or experiencing life threat. Okay, I'm starting to see the logic, but this feels really hard to implement. It is extraordinarily difficult, especially because most people will judge you and tell you you're doing it wrong when you start to implement this different logic. However, what I would encourage you to do is just take 2 weeks and experiment through this different lens and see what shifts with the felt safety, connection, and well-being of your PDA child.